Hi guys, welcome to another video. I'm not even gonna lie, I am so excited for today's video. So if I'm a little bit more of a chatterbox, I'm so sorry. I'm just so excited because this was one of those designs that I had sketched out on my iPad. And when I sketched it out, I was like, oh yes, this is it. But then to actually do it on my nails and see it come to life, it was like a reward. It was like magic to my eyes because I even impressed myself. I was clickety clacking my nails away while I was taking all the after photos and the videos and things like that of the finished design, because I'm not kidding, I impressed myself. This is one of those designs that it doesn't have too much going on, but it's still a statement piece. It still will catch people's attention and catch their eye no matter what you're doing. So like I said, I absolutely love this set. It's bold, it's elegant, it's a statement, like everything that you could think of that just makes you go wow, like that's just it to me. So like I said, I'll be a little bit more of a chatterbox in this video because I love this design. Also, if you're new to my channel, you will hear my two boys screaming in the background. I am a stay-at-home mom of two very young boys, and they are happy and loud. So if I could, I would absolutely go to like a quiet area to film my content. Unfortunately, with two young boys in the house, there is no quiet spot. That just doesn't exist if you're a boy mom. I do have a niece, and she's so opposite. She can be loud obviously when she's having fun, but she loves to color and she loves to watch movies and things like that are more like quiet activities. But if you have boys, then you know boys, they love to fight, they love to play video games, they love to do anything and everything that involves them screaming and being loud. And try as I might, they just won't quiet down, and that's okay because they're just having fun and they're happy. So you'll definitely hear them in the background. So in this video, I'm gonna show you, aside from the actual nail design tutorial, I'm gonna show you my acrylic application, which is what you're watching now, and then I'm gonna show you my filing and my shaping. I do want to mention that if you're new to my channel, and you obviously see me using nail forms instead of nail tips, and the reason I like nail forms instead of nail tips is honestly a personal preference. It's because my middle finger, my ring finger, and my pinky all point upwards. So if I put a nail tip on it instead of using nail forms, when I'm looking at it from the side, it looks like they're slanting upward. And my nails point upward so dramatically that it's very noticeable if I'm using a tip. So I like to use a form because I can kind of manipulate the structure of what my nail plate, what my nail plate actually is, and sort of bring it down so it looks much more natural as compared to using a nail tip. And I know that nail forms are not very common. I don't see too many nail techs using it, especially if you go to a nail salon like around the corner of your house. They're gonna put a tip on your nails and they do not care if your nails point upward like mine. And that's literally the reason why I got into using nail forms instead of tips, because it was such a pet peeve. Like, I thought that that was normal. I thought that, like, okay, yes, my nail plate is naturally like this, but like putting a nail tip on it and it pointing up to the sky was annoying. And I thought that there was nothing I could do to fix that until I found forms. So if your nails are like mine, I highly suggest you giving it a try. It does take a little bit of practice. Trust me, I've been doing it with forms for years. But once you get it, it's really rewarding. And your nails will look so much better if you have the same problem I do. A little side note, no, this is not nail related, but if you guys didn't know, Squid Games comes out tomorrow. And when I say tomorrow, I mean tomorrow, because I plan on posting this video tonight. So I am super excited about it because, to be honest, season 2 was not that good. It wasn't that good. It ended in a cliffhanger. The characters, yeah, I got some cool characters that I like, but like, it just wasn't that good. The games weren't that good. So I'm really excited to see how they finish the series, because it cannot end the way season 2 ended. Like, I would be so disappointed. And if you like the Squid Games, I highly recommend watching Alice in Borderland. Alice in Borderland is way better. The story is great. The characters are great. Like, there was not one character in there that's like a main character that I didn't like. I finished the series so fast, and I think they're coming out with another season pretty soon. So if you like the Squid Games, definitely watch Alice in Borderland. It's so much cooler because, like, the city is the game arena. Like, and there's games constantly going on. Like, it's great. So I highly recommend that one. Now for my filing, like when I was filing the acrylic, man, I wanted these nails to be sharper than sharp. Like, have you ever seen those TikToks or those Instagram posts where the girls be like, "Ooh, my nails are so sharp," and then they have red gel polish underneath it, and it looks like when they touch the points of the stiletto nail that the girl's like pretending she's bleeding. I wanted mine to be sharp like that. Obviously not to like hurt myself, but because it just looks so much cleaner. And I would say I got pretty close. Definitely better than the last stiletto set that I did, which you're more than welcome to check that out. But these were pretty sharp at the end of the day. What sort of takes away from it looking so crisp, in my opinion, is once you start adding layers and layers upon layers of polish, because you'll add your matte top coat and then the design and then your top coat, and you're just adding on top of the acrylic that eventually it takes away from it looking sharp and crisp. One thing I would recommend when you're doing an acrylic enhancement, especially for like stiletto or square, is to make sure that you have an even layer of application from the apex down to the free edge. And you can kind of see what I mean when I angle my nail to the side, how when you look at the apex all the way down to the free edge, it looks even. It doesn't look like there's a big slap of a mountain of acrylic near the apex and then barely nothing on the free edge. It just looks like it goes straight down. And this is gonna help when you're taking your after photos for your nails to kind of stand out a little bit more, because you can have a beautiful design, but if the shape isn't there 100%, then it's gonna throw the design a little bit off. So you want to make sure that you're focusing on the structure of your nail before focusing on nail art. And to be honest, take it from me, I didn't do that. I did the complete opposite because I was a nail art fanatic and I figured, oh, the structure will just come with time. But no, like I would have like been way further in my nail career if I had done it the right way and focused on my foundation first. Because trust me, the art is gonna come. The art is not as hard as you think. It's really getting the structure down. So take it from me, focus on the structure first. Don't do it the hard way like I did. Here we go, the nail art. So for this part, what I'm gonna do is walk you through what I did, and then I'm gonna tell you what I would have done differently so that you don't struggle like I did and you guys could save yourself some time. Right here, what you see me doing is applying like a black ombre to the bottom of the free edge of all my nails. Originally in my sketch, I only had an ombre on 3 of the nails instead of all 5, but I changed my mind while I was doing my nails and thought this would be much cuter. So that's what I'm doing here, just applying an ombre to the bottom, making sure it sort of comes up because the very edge of the design is going to be a black French. So it needed to come up high enough that way you can still see it after I put the French design on. The next thing I did was the actual black French design. This would be much easier if you have black liner gel. I ran out. I thought I had some and I didn't, so it just doesn't have the same like crispness. I don't even know if that's a word, but it's the only thing I could think of when it comes to the outline of the French, because I wish the outline would have been a little bit sharper and cleaner, but you know, black gel polish was all I had, so I was using Beetle's black gel polish. But this is much easier to do with liner gel, and trust me, it comes out a lot cleaner. And nothing against Beetle's gel polish, because my literal whole collection is pretty much Beetle's. I use them all the time. It's just the consistency of gel polish. Gel polish is not meant for like fine detailed lined art like that. So like I said, if you have liner gel, it's much easier. Another thing that I want to recommend is that anytime you're doing nail art, try to do it on matte top coat. So after I airbrushed the nails, I matte top coated them because whenever you're doing line work like this, like a French, if you do it over a glossy top coat, the polish just tends to spurse out and it just doesn't look nice. Matte top coat will just hold your lines together. That's the only way I know how to explain it. If you've done a French over a glossy top coat, you'll know what I mean. There are people who like doing that over a glossy top coat. I personally don't. I love how much cleaner my lines turn out whenever I use a matte top coat. So that's another thing I want to recommend. Use matte top coat whenever you're doing line work like this. One thing I'll mention right here is that I don't know what was happening with this nail. It literally had a mind of its own. Like, I know because of editing, it's gonna look like, oh wow, like she did it so fast. Like, no, this nail was giving me an absolute hard time. It was the exact same design that I did on my index, but for whatever reason, the lines were just not working for me, and I did have to redo it a couple of times. So one thing, like when you're getting like to the round part of the French towards the free edge, I had to switch to a 8mm brush. I can't remember if it's an 8mm or a 4mm, but the point is that I had to switch to a smaller brush to really get that nice clean loop at the end of the French, because it wasn't working for me. So if you have to do that, by all means do that. Don't just try to follow what I'm doing, because clearly that was not working for me. So do what works best for you. So this is where we started to spice things up a little bit with the design. I was not going to use gold. I was going to use silver, but I just thought gold would stand out more, and I'm so glad that I went with my original design in using gold. So I'm using the McCart rhinestone glue. I like it because you can just apply like a little dot, and then I flash cured it with the light. right here I am using those little caviar beads, and let me tell you, they were a pain. They were such a pain. If you've ever used them before, they're annoying, but they really do make the design stand out. They give it that extra oomph that it needs. So what I originally did was I used top coat because I'd never used caviar beads for this type of design and I had no idea what I was doing. Don't do that. Do not use top coat because it would just slime all over the place. Instead, I used Makart's sculpted gel paint. I think that's exactly how you say it. I'll link it in the description down below. But that is what saved my life here for this design, because the structure of the gel it's clear, so you can't even see it, but it holds the beads together nicely and they don't smear all over the place. So don't use top coat. Use like a clear sculpted gel that's meant for something like this. Also, guys, be super patient. I know that when people edit their videos, you're like, oh, this looks simple, I could do that, but it's not hard, but it's just time consuming. You have to be so patient. Like, I can't stress that enough. I think doing just one side of caviar beads on the French right here on this nail took me like 5 minutes, and I know that it doesn't seem that way because it looks like I just did it in 20 seconds, no big deal. But trust me, you have to be patient. You have to take your time with this. Like, you will tell that you rush through it if you don't take your time. So do it for the design, you know? We are coming to an end of the video, but I realized that as I was doing my editing that I totally forgot to record my ring finger and my thumb. But don't worry, you really didn't miss anything because it was just me putting rhinestones on it. You'll see that in the finished design. It was nothing crazy. Here is the final look. Like I said, there's not a lot going on, but it's still bold and it's still a statement piece. And that to me is just perfect. That's like a statement done right. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you soon.